Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I think we're due for a random run, which means we're going to random Isaac and throw my whole algorithm off. You know what, as much as I can complain about, well, actually, I can't complain. Let's put a nip in that, because it's butted. That doesn't make any sense. CA4P EC2J is going to be our seed today. I was going to say, as much as I can complain about randoming Isaac a lot, that's dumb, because Isaac is a great character to random. Oh, come on. Look, I've gotten really lucky lately, and every time that luck continues, I'm very pleased. We're no longer at the point where I can be like, well, I got unlucky a lot in the past. Right now, you just got to embrace it, man. Sometimes your team wins the championship, and sometimes it's going for the first draft pick. We haven't randomed the Lost, is what I was going to talk about. So as much as I can complain about maybe not randoming novel characters and always playing as Isaac all the dang time, at least we haven't randomed the Lost and had our streak ended like that. Instead, I had my streak end as Lazarus on the freaking NLSS, which might be the impetus that I need to actually copy my save file and then, you know, put it in save slot 2 so that shit doesn't happen again, hopefully. Really thought that I'd be able to grab a consumable there. Why did I use a bomb to get a bomb? That's a very good question. I could blow smoke up your ass and say that I thought that maybe we had a pretty good chance of getting a crawl space, or at least a not insignificant chance of getting a crawl space, but mostly I just kind of forgot. Occam's razor, bitch! Actually worked out for us, and that's pretty good as far as I'm concerned. That's as good as an HP upgrade for us, which hopefully we don't get unless we absolutely need. It's probably a little bit premature to call this a one run already just because we have Mom's Knife, but certainly, you know, it's a very good start for us, and that speed upgrade doesn't hurt either. Occasionally you can get a little too much shot speed or a little bit too much range, and this can contribute to you having a not optimal Mom's Knife run, but I think the odds of it are pretty low here. Do you see me use Pythagoras' theorem on this motherfucker over here? I hypotenused you, baby. Northern Line, could you explain what you mean when you said you used Pythagoras' theorem on that guy? Yeah, man. So, you know, with triangles, a squared plus b squared equals fucking c squared. So I saw him, and then he see that his shit got squared after I shaved the rounded edges off of his nub. It doesn't... Shut up. Alright, I know math. You don't know math. That's hip-hop. Let's get out of here. We have 5 Spirit Hearts. I think that's pretty much the appropriate time. Somehow, I guess I hit pin just by, you know, starting out. I took off like 20% of his HP for doing nothing. It's an appropriate amount of HP for us to have here if we want to snag a decent deal with the devil. It'll cost us 3. And I want to go to the Curse Room as well. So that's going to take us to 6. We might be able to take 2 if we get a particularly good one. What do you think? Do you want to do exactly the same thing we did last time and kill ourselves with Judas' Shadow so we respawn as Dark Judas with a huge damage multiplier? I think it's kind of a cool idea. You might say, oh, Northern Line, you did that last time, but, you know, if you only eat lobster twice a year, if those 2 days fall on back-to-back days, you're probably not going to say, I don't want lobster, I had it yesterday, right? People are always, I don't really want to... I don't think this does anything with the knife, actually. Yeah. So I guess I'll just pick it up to carry it with us. Maybe we can D20 it at some point. People are always so concerned about the variety of the food they eat, man. You ever have that growing up? Your mom would be like, okay, we're gonna have, like, chicken burgers tonight. And you're like, fuck yeah, chicken burgers. This is, oh, nice. This is like the best day of the week. We're not Blue Baby anymore, because now we can accept HP. That's strange. Well, it's gonna be a novel run. And then the next night, she's like, well, we've got leftover chicken burgers, but you can't have chicken burgers twice in a row, so we're gonna have, like, a tofu stir-fry or something like that. Look, I'm not even shit-talking a tofu stir-fry. I was a vegetarian for a little part of my life, and I can get down with a good, nice, you know, saucy tofu stir-fry. However, Mom, can't we just have the chicken burgers? Like, I really like chicken burgers. I'll admit that maybe the chicken burgers, the night after you have them, not quite as meaningful because you had them so recently. However, I would still rather have day-old chicken burgers than a suboptimal tofu stir-fry. People have got the meta all fucked up, man. Oh, we can't have pizza tonight. We had pizza last. Well, that's got a little bit more of a health concern with it, I guess, which is fair. We could not pick up the razor blade. This is how I ended my streak 2 streaks ago. That would kill us, weirdly enough. This is good. That it taught me something. Let's put it that way. Our HP does suck here, but I'm thinking that it's probably not going to be too relevant. Although if I start taking damage against champions, we'll start to be a little afraid of what's going on here. But I'm thinking we'll probably be able to buy a spirit heart in here. I don't get it, man. When I was in college and oh yeah. Oh yeah. When I was in college and I finally was able to embrace living alone. I mean, by the way, don't treat your parents with disrespect, because it's pretty awesome to live under their roof. I'm gonna stick with Book of Belial here and not have to pay for anything, unless you have to live under the roof and pay for everything, in which case, well then, you know, maybe you're better off living by yourself if you can afford it. But anyway, this is neither here nor there yet. When I was in college, I completely eschewed, you know, we gotta eat something different every night meta. I was single at the time, in case you didn't know. You're gonna know by the end of this story, I'll tell you that much. And literally for like 3 or 4 weeks straight, I ate chili for every meal. That's not an exaggeration. I would wake up, have a bowl of chili. It's like a Kendrick Lamar song. Wake up, beans, faded, beans, you know? That's King Kunta, obviously. I think we're gonna stick with petrified poop for the extra cash that we can garner from it. Not too proud about this. That's alright. I was like, it's cheap. I can make it delicious. It stores well. And it's pretty healthy, you know, depending on what you put in it. I had a nice macronutrient balance going on in that chili that I was pretty excited about. And it was great, man. I was not sick of it. I'd wake up, you know, your body goes through some weird changes when you do something like that. You wake up, it's like 7:30 in the morning. Very tempted to launch into R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet right now. But you'd wake up at, you know, 7:30 in the morning, and your body would be like, yo, I need that fucking, like those slow-release carbohydrates present in those beans, dog. You gotta get that shit to me ASAP or your brain's not gonna work properly. Try it out sometime. You might be surprised. At this point, it's nearly unfathomable that this run will turn into a loss. This deal with the devil freaks me out. I was just gonna say, I kinda hope it's Krampus. Tomo, now's not the time, man. Tomo, now's not the time, man. I will go to our curse room here. I was a little concerned about the potentiality of like a real deal with the devil, because we have 2.5 spirit hearts, 1 red heart. I think if I took a 3 spirit heart deal, it would actually kill us. I know that sounds ridiculous. I feel like it is ridiculous, but I believe that that's the truth. Oh my god, we're at 6.5 minutes through the caves part 1. Normally this is like where we would be I don't want to talk about it. Normally this is where we would expect to be beating the second floor if we're going relatively quickly. It's just a testament to, you know, how strong this run is right now, and it really is that strong. That's not the same pills, weirdly enough, so 1 range up, and very happy that's not a bad trip, I guess. Low on HP again, but with the cash potentially to buy a spirit heart, mostly hoping that we just don't have to, and instead we just pick up more red hearts. Like, more actual HP would be worthwhile here. I know I said earlier that it wasn't, but things have changed because we're no longer Blue Baby. Eternal hearts. We shouldn't have a chance at a blood bank here, at least not a traditional blood bank. It could still happen. Pheromones is a better pill for sure. I can't believe that over the course of that whole thing, that guy still never popped up, but whatever. Okay, Curse of the Blind. No soy milk. We got an interesting looking character right now. Bob's brain has to show up on Curse of the Blind. That's just the rule. There's a Curse of the Blind corollary. If you are on a Curse of the Blind for your floor, you're getting some item that is gonna be of dubious quality. I really like Bob's brain. There's no question that in this situation we don't need Bob's brain, so it definitely has more of a potential to be a liability as opposed to a boon for us. But all that being said, if it's either that or Mom's Heart or soy milk, then not Mom's Heart, sorry, Isaac's Heart, obviously. If it's not Bob's brain and it has to be one of those items, then I'm very happy that we got Bob's brain. And if we get a bomb there, we can do some good stuff. For now, just play this guy once. Kind of hoping we'd get Blood Bag. A little bit generous, maybe. Don't think we're going to be able to capitalize too much on our shop here. And that's totally okay. How are you feeling about Boss Rush, Northern Line? I'm feeling like I will probably do Boss Rush on this run. I don't believe that I will teleport out. Unless, I mean, if I get the option to teleport out, maybe. Lucky dodge by me there. I don't want to talk about that one either. A little sloppy here. Coffee still entering the bloodstream. Poor plays, man. Poor plays for 4 days. Okay. Toothpicks is not what I'm looking for, man. I can take this deal, so I will take this deal. And Contract from Below is awesome, but it doesn't really solve our HP-related problems here. I'm still kind of in love with the idea that, like, I'm such a square that my version of swimming pools is with chili instead of with alcohol. But thank you, Kendrick Lamar, for the inspiration regardless. We have no bombs left, but we picked up some HP in the process. It's an interesting run. Like, we're doing an absolute disgusting amount of damage, and we're doing it in a very quick fashion. Like, we're 9 minutes here on Depths 1. It's not quite record time, but it's pretty dang fast. But I'm not balling out of control on HP. There was a Tinted Rock back there. Bombs have been in short supply this run, unfortunately for us. I mean, mind you, we have one unlimited bomb in Bob's brain. Mostly I'm using that to hit myself at this point. Alright, we will check out our mob trap room. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I would have needed right here. More damage. Who needs HP if you have Little Brimstone and Mom's Knife and Dark Judas? In a way, I'm actually not being facetious. I think this is actually a huge help for us. If we're not going to get more HP, we might as well get more damage. Like, that's going to be the thing that's going to be the greatest predictor of our success. But I'm still a little anxious about the way that this game is going. It's largely because of my poor play. Sounds like a Lifetime movie coming this fall. You have to turn it on its head, though. It wouldn't be like my poor Binding of Isaac play or football play. It would be like you'd be a theater director in a small town. You used to work in New York City, but then somehow you got disgraced. Maybe your play came out on Broadway, and then it was, you know, just an absolute terrible failure, and then you had to move to this small town to try to, like, build your rep back up. My poor play. And then it's just a, you know, small towns, man. It's just a host of interesting characters. I think we should take Trickle Charge. I don't use Book of Belial as much as I should, or as often as I should anyway. But this at least gives us the opportunity to use it once every 2 rooms, if that's something we desire, which it should be. Whether or not I actually take advantage of it, it's another story altogether. Alright, consumables are coming back in quick supply here. We may actually be able to buy something from this shop, which means it's greed. Alright. I mean, it's a lot easier to buy things from the shop if you don't have to buy Spirit Hearts all the time just to keep yourself above the deal with the devil threshold, but I digress! Come on. They always jump when you're about to shoot them the second time. I'll just pick up that bomb. I don't think it's actually any faster to leave the room if you have even a second of hesitation. Item room is Spelunker's hat. I do want it. Just bumped into it in a weird fashion at first. See if we can find our secret room here now that we actually have some money. I'm not going back across that. By money, I mean bombs, of course. As is usual in Northern Lion Plays the Binding of Isaac, you just kind of have to come to accept that you should know what I mean before I even say it. Because I'm gonna make mistakes, but it's basically just like the words are just a signifier for what I mean, man. Why do we even have language? Why do we have money? We should go back to a barter system. We have to take the Pact. I was hoping for another Spirit Art there, yeah. The Pact is going to leave us at 3. I can't really justify picking up Sacrificial Dagger. In other situations, it's possible that I could have, but in this situation, I really can't because one errant Bob's Brain shot could completely take us out. So, I would expect that has a pretty good chance to happen, so I can't go for it. Alright, Monstro 2 is like our ideal enemy to fight here because he spends a little bit too much time in a stationary pose. And we'll move on here. I mean, we're going to be in that boss rush room, which is where I should keep Book of Belial, or use Book of Belial. We're going to be in that boss rush room probably by like 14 minutes, which is pretty crazy. That's the difference between, you know, gaining momentum quickly and gaining momentum slowly. We are definitely, you know, that mom's knife pickup basically gave us an incredible amount of starting momentum, like a roller coaster-esque lift hill. That was precisely worth it. Let's continue moving along down here. And of course we're going to go to our item room. We're going to try to go to our shop if we have the cash for it. Mini Mush, not necessarily the most amazing item we could get here. Black Hearts is pretty much exactly what I want. Wouldn't shy away from runes and tarot cards. And you know what? A Dagaz rune is totally fine by me as well. It's a Magician card. I don't dislike Homing Knife. Some people do. I think it's okay. Gotta be very careful about Bob's Brain, man. In Afterbirth, whatever they do... Oh, I'm such an idiot. Please don't nerf the skulls, man. Yeah, don't nerf the skulls. I don't know what the Kendrick Lamar theme is running strong through the video today. It's a callback. That's the way I'm going to choose to describe it anyway. Alright, so I think it would be a little cheap for us to teleport out of Boss Rush. I think it's in our best interest to, and by best interest I mean, like, I think it would be the most fun if we fight Boss Rush. And in a way, you know, why not? Because we have the chance to get a second item from it. And hopefully we come across more skulls on our way here as well. 14 minutes might have been a little bit of a generous estimation of when we're going to end up in that boss room, but that's okay. It's not like it really matters. We have like a 7-minute window here of potential success. Fate. Tammy's head. Tammy's head shoots knives, right? Yeah. It's weird because I love Tammy's head, but it kind of sucks with Mom's knife. Like, it always... With most items, I feel like it does way more damage than you expect. With Tammy's head, it feels like it does way less. Maybe it's just because the hitbox, though, is smaller on those Mom's knife plays. Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't really matter that much. Try to get Bob's Brain out of here so we can shoot effectively. Man, lots of items out of the golden chest, which is not abnormal, but still. Big miss. Infamy's great. I love it. I haven't talked about it, but that's because I've talked about it on numerous occasions before. It's a fantastic item. What more is there to say? For one key, we're probably going to save like 5 Spirit Hearts worth of damage. Okay, I've got to be careful about Bob's Brain here. Infamy just saved me twice on that one, so I'm never going to complain about it again, except for those times that I do. I have to take Guppy's tail now. In a way, that puts me in a terrible spot, but I have to try, man. Now that we got another Guppy item from it. So that's Book of Secrets, Hot Bombs, a Luck Upgrade, and Telepathy for Dummies. Now, this is a very stupid idea. Don't do this, kids. We're in a winning position, no doubt. Step 1 of what not to do is don't buy Guppy's tail. Just be happy that you got Guppy's paw for free. Don't buy Guppy's tail. You don't have the HP necessary to make it work. We got to be really careful about Bob's Brain. Step 2 is definitely don't fight Boss Rush when you got such low HP, especially when the Boss Rush items are actually kind of shitty. Unless I'm missing something, I feel like we didn't really get the cream of the crop on that one, you know? Maybe we will at the end, though. Now, all this being said, I did just watch Bear Taffy. Oh, jeez. I did just watch Bear Taffy beats the Lost Boss Rush, or beat the Boss Rush with the Lost on camera with a run that I think was actually a little bit less strong than ours is right now. So if I end up dying on this Boss Rush, he probably deservedly should trash talk me and suggest that perhaps he's the true Binding of Isaac professional. The real problem with this, though, is that, oh, lucky me. He didn't have Bob's Brain. And that's the real rub for me, is that I could fairly easily, like, all I have to do is hit myself twice. If I hit myself with Bob's Brain twice, it all goes down, you know? 3 times now, because we got super lucky and found a Spirit Heart just randomly and some poop. Let's stay on the right side here. I'm worried about what enemies are going to spawn. I didn't want to be in the middle. I think we have Pin, who did not die in one hit, kind of amazingly. Alright, so we're out of the danger zone, I think. And maybe we'll pick up a sweet item here. This is what I was worried about. Just get a little bit more of a charge. Yeah, you gotta kill him before he jumps. It lowers your chances of getting hit by like 1,000,000,000%. Now we're on the Horseman, so let's focus on Pestilence first. Easy. We'll focus on Death first. Gotta kill him before the Scythes show up. And then we'll focus on the Fallen first, so that we don't get hit by a beam from like across the map. That was a really nice Mom's Knife shot. Pretty good position here. Let's try it down here. Oh, we did take 1 damage right at the very end from, of all things, I think the head of the helmet from Headless Horseman. Ah, we got super bandage for it, so that actually ended up being well worth it, weirdly enough. Actually, Book of Belial worked out very nicely for us there. You know, I'm not going to pick up Sister Maggie. I'm a crazy dude sometimes, but Sister Maggie in this situation is just a bad choice. Curse of the Unknown. It's actually important for us to remember how much HP we have. We have like 5.5, somewhere in there. We have enough that we could take a deal with the devil. Let's set up a window around ourselves so we're not going to get too close. Let's say we're at 6.5 though. Might even be a more because of the play we made with Guppy's Paw. And now we have 1 red heart as well. So now I'm just gonna not worry about it, because we have picked up a little bit of extra HP here, and my brain is saying, please have mercy. I can't keep that, you know, floating value up there. You've got your grocery list. It's still hard to imagine a loss here, but it is fair to say that this is not one of those runs that you know, got good and then got even better, if that makes sense. Thank you, Infamy, man. If you're not thanking Infamy, maybe it's a Canadianism. You gotta thank Infamy every time it works, you know? People are like, why do you clap when the airplane lands? That's stupid. They're doing their job. But, I mean, yeah. But also, because they did their job, we didn't die, or, you know, the landing gear didn't fall off. We all didn't get concussions or anything like that. So, I mean, I don't clap when the airplane lands, because I've flown before, and, you know, airplanes are not new science. They're still amazing to me, but, you know, when people clap, I'm not like, oh, look at this Philistine clapping for a routine landing. Yo, there's no such thing as a routine landing for me. You put me behind the controls of that airplane, we're gonna die. If I ended up landing the airplane, nobody clapped for me, I'd be very disappointed. I'd say maybe these people don't want life as much as they think they do. Don't clap at the end of the movie, though. Nobody's here to freaking see. Like, if you're at the premiere, sure. If you're seeing, like, the Avengers in a small town in Manitoba, like, 3 weeks after it comes out, yo, man, Chris Hemsworth is not there. He can't, no one there is appreciating your claps. What do you expect people in the audience are gonna, oh my god, somebody in this audience likes the Avengers. I never would have expected that. It's such a divisive movie. Makes a lot of, I'm not shitting on the Avengers here, but come on, man. It's not like it's some kind of bold artistic vision. It's mostly just really, really fun. Robert Downey Jr.'s not there, man. He's not gonna say thanks for your applause, let's become best friends. That would be sweet, though. I'm not gonna deny that. Okay. HP, maybe? Damage is probably better, actually. We have 1 red heart for sure. Ah, this seems like a pretty good trade. Alright, now it's unlosable. I'm not gonna go back for the extra HP, just because, let's be honest, we don't need it. Oh, we had way more spirit hearts than I actually thought as well. But for real, this is now a definitive win. I'm trying not to spend so many keys, and, well, I'm not trying not to spend keys. I'm hoping not to spend keys. That might be worth it. I'm spending as many keys as I can and then being like, well, I wish we would get some keys. That's pretty much what it's coming down to. Wish I had some invincibility in there still. Curse of the Maze is a little annoying, but at the same time also saved me a good deal of backtracking right there, so fair play. No thank you. Unsung hero of this run, Rotten Baby, man. It is, not Rotten Baby Man, that's a superhero that you probably won't see in the Avengers anytime soon. But Rotten Baby is like one or two shotting pretty much every enemy, even champions. Don't stand too much of a chance of getting away from his wily charms. I realize that Curse of the Maze is bouncing us around here. My philosophy on it is kind of like, you know, I don't have map or compass. One direction's as good as the other. They want to bounce me in the direction this way. It could be closer to the boss, could be further away. Doesn't matter to me. It is further away, and now it matters to me a great deal because this room is a little annoying, but little Brimstone helping out a great deal. And 2 more keys. Now we can open one of those golden chests. We also have 10 bombs, so if we wanted to, we could start cracking open those polyps in the hopes of getting some more HP that Dark Bum could use. Hasn't really become an issue thus far, and I doubt it will, even if I do keep hitting myself with Bob's Brain. Ah, we got a key back, so I'm gonna open this one. We got 2 keys back. Life's good, digitally yours, baby. 3 keys back, maybe. Scary room. It's not, it shouldn't be a scary room, but it's because the enemies teleport and Bob's Brain, you know, gets right up in our face. More keys? Yeah. Kind of a big floor. I hate this room if we can't fly. If you can fly, you can kill the enemies so easily. If you can't fly, it's a little laborious here. Little Laborious is the villain from Age of Ultron, by the way. Spoilers. It's a joke, in case... You know, many people out there saying, you don't need to say that's a joke. I've spent a lot of time on the internet. I need to say that's a joke. I feel I need to say it's a joke. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I pretty much accepted that I was going to get hit there due to my own idiocy and just went with it. In a weird way, it actually ended up working out quite nicely because the invincibility that we got from the Polaroid allowed me to stand literally right next to Mom's heart and then kill it in about a second and a half. Bob's Brain? Bob's Brain. In a way, I guess I'm glad that Bob's Brain is kind of like a refractory period when the round first starts. I know we're not using Book of Belial that much yet, but I still feel like it's probably better for us to stick with Trickle Charge here than it is to go for Flat Penny in a situation where we already have a lot of keys. Or we're getting a decent number of keys, at least. I'm not concerned at all about the Guppy Dream. It would be nice to be able to fly, and I did nearly kill myself, or at least created the perception of having nearly killed myself in order to pick up those 2 Guppy items, but truth be told, it doesn't actually benefit us all that much. We won't be generating too many flies because we have Mom's Knife, and, well, the ability to fly would be nice, but apart from that, pretty much the value in becoming Guppy would be whatever our 3rd Guppy item is. I hate myself for that one. I still think Bob's Brain is good though, and people are gonna be like, what, do you have like Stockholm Syndrome or something? Nah, man, it's just this run is not a good fit for Bob's Brain, because with Mom's Knife, I typically want to be as close to the enemies as possible. With Bob's Brain, you want to be as far away from the enemies as possible. 1 bomb for 2 bombs? Nah, man. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. You have to try harder to get me on a deal than that one. 2 for the price of 1, but, you know, you got to factor in the time spent as well. Do I have to do your job for you, Dark Bum? Oh, thank you. We got to be fairly close, I think. 2nd secret room is right here. Not an Eternal Heart, please. That's perfect, actually. Can't complain about that one at all. And this is a dead end. Now I'm getting a little confused. I shouldn't be, though, because that actually... my brain parsed this as like a dead end, but there's no way it could have been a dead end, actually, if you look at it logically speaking. It was just the secret room gave the illusion that it was a dead end. I'm still gonna hew to the belief that the boss room... Yeah, we'll try it. that the boss room is going to be closer to the second secret room, so... I'll do it. We actually became Guppy and got the ability to fly. That's a weird one. Which is, well, I mean, we became Guppy and then independently got the ability to fly. I didn't even know Guppy's head could show up in Golden Chest, but I guess that's good news for me. I'm not going to pick up Fate. This is one of the rare situations where it's not good for us. It's actually not just useless, it's straight up bad. It would ruin our permanent Polaroid invincibility. Now, Credit Card also has basically no meaning for us, because there's no way we can get into a deal with the devil right now, except for having the Joker card. It's not totally true. I could find a red chest that teleports us. Let's just say the odds of it are not particularly strong. However, it's worth holding on to just for novelty's sake if it ends up actually working out. Yet another pretty crazy, ridiculous run in terms of luck, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I'm happy to keep having this luck as long as the game's happy to keep giving it to me. And don't act like this was just, like, gifted to us on a silver platter. We did some funky stuff. We didn't just say, oh, mom's knife, okay, let's play it conservatively so we don't fuck it up, you know? We killed ourselves to become Dark Judas without any way to replenish our HP, and then we fought Boss Rush when I could have teleported away. I can justify opening one of those. And, we became Guppy sort of by accident, but it was also a big risk. At least picking up Guppy's tail was a big risk. Alright, well, tactical Polaroid invincibility there. Sure, Able is fine. Probably worse than I would expect to get on the chest with one key, but hopefully on the chest we'll get more keys, so it won't matter that much. This run is still literally losable, but it's very unlikely. Sad Onion, Demon Baby, Jar of Tears. How does this even work with our setup? Is it awesome? I'm gonna say probably not, but I'm gonna try it out anyway. I think that was Little Brimstone that did most of the damage. Don't be fooled. Let's try it again in this room. That's Little Brimstone, man. I gotta go back with Book of Belial. I mean, I figured Book of Belial would be better. I figured we'd just try it, see if it's got like a little Tammy's head action going on. In a way, I guess it does. Lemon Mishap? Lemon Mishap's alright, man, but... We're gonna go Book of Belial here, because it's, you know, arguably the best spacebar item in the game. I like to take the D6 out of the pool for that. I feel like the D6 kind of exists in its own pantheon. It's like, yeah, Wayne Gretzky's the best NHL player of all time, but okay, who's the best player who's not named Wayne Gretzky? Open up a whole can of worms there, you know. You still got the Lemieuxites and the Bobby Orr fanatics, and maybe people go for, like, Terry Sawchuk or something like that. It's all possible. Maurice Richard, perhaps, but, anyway. Just imagine that the analogy is correct, and then you will understand what I meant by it. There's no reason not to take Bob's Curse, I suppose. And this is, again, breaking my traditional rule of the second secret room is right next to the boss fight. We'll check it out regardless. No Eternal Heart, please. Swallowed Penny, really useful for now. We just picked up a quarter when we already had 99 cents. Let's pick up Swallowed Penny. I think that could really help us out on these mysterious chest shops. Scumbag Northern Lion never uses Book of Belial. In my defense, it's kind of uncouth to defend yourself in a situation like that, but in my defense, if you're one-shotting like almost every enemy, it's harder to motivate you to use Book of Belial because you know, what's your damage with Book of Belial? One enemy is dead. What's your damage with Book of Belial plus, or what's your damage without Book of Belial, I should say? One enemy's dead. What's your damage with Book of Belial? One enemy is dead and then some. So I'm thinking, unless we take like 3 hits right here, we're probably in the clear. Hermit card doesn't help us out that much. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually just going to run up and hit him and see if we can kill him in that first period of invincibility. And we did. That's a pretty impressive run from a damage standpoint. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the run. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.